can COVID travel by water as well? For example, in a swimming pool or the beach? Can animals get COVID? And why are there 3 different vaccines made?
There was a lot of concern about how the virus could spread. And as Davida was saying just before, what we're most concerned about, the mode of transmission is airborne from person to person. So if you're at a swimming pool, you don't have to worry about getting COVID from the water, but you do have to think about the people that you're with, and you wouldn't want to be in a crowded place where you're sharing their air. Sharing the water is a different matter. It seems that some animals can get COVID. Again, because we know some things about coronaviruses, we know that they can be spread from other animals to humans, and we've seen some evidence that other animals are getting this particular coronavirus as well. So we can't think of ourselves as being separate from the rest of the natural world in this. We have to be mindful of how these viruses can be transmitted. The third question, I think, was about the different types of vaccines. And each one is made up a little bit differently. They all have the same basic idea, which is just to be able to introduce something from the virus, something about the virus that can turn on our immune system, but not enough of the virus to actually cause us to have an infection like we would if we were to get the virus from someone else who had been infected. So that's always the important distinction to make, even though the variations from one particular type of vaccine to another might be small, they're all quite different from the virus itself.
So I think it's important that we pay attention to that as well, because some of the vaccines being distributed globally may not be as effective as some of the vaccines that have been distributed in some parts of the world. So it's important to pay attention that you want to pay attention to the FDA approvals and the federal approvals and what's approved by your state public health departments, et cetera, that are following some of the federal CDC and FDA guidelines as well. So it's very important. And you can see Davida has said in there that we've approved only the Pfizer, the Moderna, and the Johnson & Johnson for use in the United States. So just pay attention. It's important.
And to the students that are listening, I'm going to give you guys a goal. Do whatever you can to take COVID down. And the goal is this: pay attention to the numbers. And the goal is no cases for 3 days. Okay, we had 20 new cases today. We're going to go for 3 days, no cases. Do it whichever way you think you can. Mask, or wash your hands, or get a vaccine, or tell all your friends. No cases for 3 days. No cases for 3 days.